Hey everybody, welcome back to Iphone Bloke, the tech tuber where we help quality people to pick up quality product. So today's video is a much awaited two SUV giants back-to-back comparison, and I'm talking about Mahindra XUV 300 base variant versus Hyundai petrol base variant in 2021. So let's get started. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about in length and detail about which is more of a value for money product with context to petrol SUV, and I'm comparing Creta E petrol version 2021 with Mahindra XUV 300 petrol version, so-called the base version W4. Now, please stay tuned because this is going to be a lengthy video of almost 10 to 15 minutes of time because I'll be comparing petrol engines, seat comfort, mileage, configuration, power, performance, and of course which one is the real value for money in 2021. So stay tuned. I've got my laptop on over here and I want to talk about first of all the pricing. Now the pricing of Mahindra XUV 300 for base petrol variant is 8,98,000. That is a purchase price with context to overall duties, tax, and so-called blah blah blah. So altogether it goes let's say around about 960 970 on road. That's W4 variant. Now E variant of Hyundai Creta is around about 11,20,487 petrol. So it's already a huge difference in terms of base variant of both these products because the basic price of Creta is 9,99,000, wherein the basic price of W4 Mahindra is 7.95 lakhs, which is a huge difference when it comes to the base price differences. Almost a price of 1.5 lakh if you compare the base variant of these two wonderful products. So let's move on and talk about the overall mileage. Now the overall mileage of, let's say, Hyundai Creta, if I go with my own driving experience, I have received for petrol around about, let's say 11, 12 in city, wherein the mileage of, let's say, Mahindra XUV 300 in city has been very, very good. It's more than 13.8 in bumper to bumper with AC on. So yeah, the mileage is somewhat better when it comes to Mahindra XUV 300 compared to Creta petrol E variant, and of course all the variants of Creta petrol as well. Let's talk about the engine and transmission. So in XUV 300, what you get is 1.2 liter turbo petrol engine, which is a turbocharged engine, 1197 cc engine, and you have 108 bhp right now. Now this has been a bit reduced compared to what it was. It was close to 110 in BS4 version. So 1.2 liter turbocharged petrol engine for Mahindra XUV 300. Then you have almost 1200 cc engine, exact 1197, and then of course a couple of bhp have been reduced compared to W4 variant, which was 110 bhp. So engine is kind of a 3-cylinder, which can always be a challenge for a turbo petrol engine because 4 engine cylinders are always nice because it gives more punch. So that's the engine configuration of Mahindra XUV 300. Talking about Creta, it has 1.5 liter petrol. So the engine is not a turbocharged, but it's a bigger petrol engine. It has 1497 cc of engine, and of course you have 13.42 bhp. So the bhp is somewhat higher in Creta E variant compared to Mahindra base variant as well. So that means a little more extra acceleration within 1500 kilometers range compared to XUV 300, which from 1000 to 1500 there's a little bit of lag as well. Moving on, we want to talk about the overall boot space and the mileage. Now mileage I've already disclosed about Mahindra XUV 300 because I've driven more than 11,000 kilometers, and on an average what I've been getting in city bumper to bumper is around about 13.8. Highway max I've touched 18.4, wherein my personal experience of Creta, which I don't own, my friend owns it, so he told me that he is getting almost 11 to 12 in city bumper to bumper traffic, and then highway it reaches up to 1560 petrol I'm talking about. So mileage is somewhat low in Creta compared to W4 variant of Mahindra XUV300. Now the biggest plus point what Creta has got over XUV300 is the boot space, number one, and number two, the overall tank capacity. The fuel capacity of Mahindra XUV300 W4 is 42 liters, wherein in Creta you have 50 liters, which means a lot of difference of almost 8 liters of petrol. Moving the other factor which I think Mahindra XUV has a bit of an edge in terms of refinement, that the engine of XUV300 is pretty refined, and even the NVH level is fantastically well maintained, wherein the engine of Creta, the base variant I'm talking about, is not that refined, even though it's a good engine, and most of the Hyundai engines are very powerful, very flexible, very accelerating in terms of speed and performance from low end torque. But then Creta, with context to let's say refinement and the NVH level, is not that terrific. So that's a little downfall for Creta people if you're looking for Creta. The other advantage of XUV300, it's a 5-star crash global NCAP resulted vehicle. So it's India's safest car, India's widest car in its segment. And of course, if I talk about in context to Creta, Creta hasn't got the real star, global NCAP, but then given the build what always Hyundai has given, it's round about 4, I'm suspecting, but not yet a global NCAP test has come in India. Another important thing which I felt is very, very important when it comes to security of both the cars is the braking. The braking system of Hyundai Creta, I think it needs a little bit more of a bite compared to the Mahindra people, because Mahindra, what they have given in both the tires, all the 4 wheels, is disc brake, wherein in Creta you get the front 2 disc brakes and 2 drum brakes, which is not of that great advantage when it comes to slippery conditions of, let's say, rainfall, mud and sand, all those things. And that's also one of the disadvantages what you have in Ford EcoSport. And I think Mahindra over here truly wins the race about in terms of braking capacity, all 4 disc brakes, the best, safest car in NCAP rating, and of course the tire as well. The tire, both have got R16 tubeless radial tires, are good tires. I'm not saying it's a bad tire competition at all, and I think it makes a lot of sense in terms of stability of cars on the highway, especially in the high speed run. So the stability of both the cars are quite fantastic, but if I just have to give a little more advantage, I would say let's say XUV, because of its 4 disc brake from the very first variant. Creta, not a bad choice at all. Very nice, very solid, it feels in the hands. And of course, the steering feedback of Creta is somewhat better compared to Mahindra XUV300 if I do not apply the so-called the sport or the other driving dynamics at all. Ground clearance, I think Mahindra XUV has got 180, and it's nearby closed for Creta as well, because Creta has got a similar ground clearance. Both the vehicle have power steering, power windows front, power windows rear, power boot. If I talk about interiors, I think the interior fit and finish of Mahindra XUV300 is more of a premium one, because it has got beige and black a combination which looks more of a plush feeling compared to a black and grayish in Hyundai Creta, which is again very good material. And I must say this to all of you, because that has my experience with, let's say, the small hatchbacks of Hyundai. And of course the overall built interiors of Hyundai cars have always been better compared to any other car, let it be a mini hatchback or an SUV. So they're very good when it comes to fit and finish of the dashboard and overall the cabin. But then overall comparison, if I have to do, because of beige and black combination, the XUV300 gets more of a plush feeling compared to Hyundai Creta. Okay, talking about the interiors, you have a tachometer in both, you have electronic multi-trip meter in both. Leather seats are not available in the base variant of both these cars. Exteriors, of course, all are SUV cars. You have adjustable headlights in both. You have anti-lock braking system for Creta. and for, of course, XUV. Brake assist is not available in both these two options, as these are two first variant of both the organizations. Central locking, yes, you both have it. The power door locks, yes, you have it. Moving on in entertainment and communication, I think that's a big letdown when it comes to Mahindra XUV300. So Mahindra XUV300 had only got a radio over here, and not even speakers they have provided. So speakers rare, yes, they have given Mahindra XUV300, but in Creta you really have no speakers, no radio whatsoever, even in the first version of Hyundai Creta E variant, which is of great disappointment given the brand Hyundai Creta has carried so far in modern world. Now, if I really talk about some of the important factors which I think you should know, both are BS6 compliance, both are great cars, both the cars have unbelievable run, unbelievable steering, unbelievable control. It just Mahindra XUV300 has few more important and extra features like the tire movement. It shows in the MID. It has 4 disc brakes. It is the safest car in India. Wherein in Creta, what extra you get is you get more of a high plush quality, let's say comfort interiors. You also have unbelievable build and finish. And if I just wrap a little more about overall features, I think Hyundai Creta happens to be somewhat more of a renowned product in the market, more old and more trustworthy compared to Mahindra XUV300 petrol. But then if you compare these two cars current in 2020, I think XUV300 wins the race because of 3 important factors. First, it has the best mileage, number 1. Second, it has all disc brakes. Third, it has more of a stable and pliant ride compared to Hyundai Creta. Fourth, and the biggest important point is it is almost 1.5 lakh, affordable in terms of basic variant. So these are the most important factors. And I also feel that if you end up buying let's say around about a W4 variant, you just need to add 70,000 to 80,000 extra to make it a plush car. Even the seat comfort, the seat cushioning what Mahindra has given is somewhat better compared to Hyundai Creta. But then you have to give credit to Creta because of the way they have given the lock, the key lock option, the way they have maintained the dashboard. The interiors, more often than not, the built interiors are somewhat plush compared to Mahindra, especially the AC console, especially the overall dashboard. I think in that segment, XUV300 lacks a bit, but then overall, if I talk about the best value for money proposition, I think a Mahindra W4 variant petrol happens to be more affordable. You just need to invest 60,000 extra and you get up all the bells and whistles. But then safety, security, ground clearance, the way it feels, the way it drives, and which level refinement, I think are much better in Mahindra XUV300, which is for me as well is a bit of a shock, because if you compare Hyundai with Mahindra XUV300, really these two vehicles are no match for each other, given the league and the prestige what Creta has always carried in the market from a long time. Well, I hope this was useful to one and all. In case if this was useful, do subscribe, keep us your comments on Instagram, Twitter, where we're extremely happy and active. And I would be more than happy to comment and have a discussion on this wonderful topic if you happen to have any questions for us. Well, till next time, you take care and thanks for watching.